We have a professional athlete that's more than likely going to get canceled for his comments on a recent episode of $1 million Worth of Game. Kim Newton pretty much said, most women these days are bad bees. We all know what that means. If you're, pop coach, we're all around the same age. We know what that bad other word is. And he was like, a lot of women don't know when to. A lot of women have this certain status but can't cook and don't know when to be quiet. And that sent Twitter in an uproar. I've seen it talked about on a couple shows, and people saying, "Oh, Cam is uh, inconsiderate of women and misogynistic," and they brought up the interview from a couple years ago when he was being interviewed after a game, and he told the reporter it was interesting to hear a woman talk about football. They were in an uproar about that.
Talk about running
I
routes or
think,
something like
yeah, she was talking about Devin Funches running routes, and he was like, "It's funny hearing a woman talk about football and hearing a woman talk about route running." So, I mean, I just think we are in a society now where every little thing people pinpoint it or they find a negative in it. I think they're really blowing it out of proportion. And I really feel like if it don't apply, let it fly. If you can cook and you know what, why you tripping? Why you tripping? So, what do you guys take on it?
that. I mean, I guess I can go first. I don't. I just feel like it's just wrong timing. Honestly, like period. Like it shouldn't be said at all. And then just especially to somebody that's doesn't have a job right now in the NFL. I just feel like that's kind of a bad look for Cam Newton. Especially if you're still trying to play in the NFL, because especially with they got all this stuff well, they're adding women to the NFL, I should say, especially with the referees, the coaches, and stuff like that. So, I mean, I just feel like with his comments saying that, that's just going to be a bad look for him trying to, be a backup. Well, more than likely, he's going to be a backup for a team. He's not going to be a starter, time soon because Cam Newton, I feel like he's past his prime right now. So, just for somebody that's not employed right now, I feel like that's just not a comment you're drawing unwanted attention that you don't need to draw to. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like it's just bad timing. It shouldn't have been said. So wrong move, Cam. Especially somebody that's still trying to play in the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I give you the wrong timing, but I also say for it to be freedom of speech, you can't really say much these days without it it being talked about in a negative light.
I mean, but just the way he said it, though. I mean,
Yeah.
people are, of course, going to take that as bad, just because of the way he said it. Like, I mean, I'm not sure if there's a professional way to say, you know, whatever he was trying to say. I should say,
Mhm.
but just calling females a bad B, and
No, he was saying, how, come on, we all heard women quote themselves as that.
I know. I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's just still though. Like I don't know. I just feel like it's just not a good saying for him, especially for somebody like I said who's still trying to look for employment. So
And I think for me, and then I'll let John go, it looks bad on him because, you got multiple BMs, multiple kids. Like, maybe you ain't found the one. Maybe that's what you need to look for.
yeah, that's
You
facts.
getting all these bad B's and you ain't got a good woman. Like, come on, bro.
They
You,
out here. They definitely out here
right,
for sure.
yeah, but before that, he was saying, like his mom is a real woman, grandmother's a real woman, things like that. I'm like, well, you didn't think what your father did and found you one? But, hey, that's story for another day.
Yeah.
Cam, come on the show whenever you're ready. But,
No, no, no,
John,
no.
what you got, bro?
Hang on. I defend Cam all the time. He's my guy. He's still my favorite quarterback. But in the league right currently. But well, like Walt said, he's not in currently, but he's not retired yet. But I gotta say, Cam is he's talking about traditional, like what we think of like probably back as far now, maybe the 80s, I mean, ever since really the 90s, like this hasn't been traditional family. Like women work much more and stuff like that. But so if he's talking about, he tells us I had the perfect example. As we said, two perfects. He said I had the perfect example for a dad. So if he wants to talk about traditional men and women roles, then I gotta say he's exactly right. Listen, when my wife when I leave for work, I want her to hand me my big old lady church hat and my pink capris and whatever else Cam wears, right? This guy's talking about traditional male and woman roles as if like he is like, come on, man, he is living like what people change, man. Times have changed. You know what I mean? There's no way his dad was wearing the things he's wearing. There's no way like things change. If he can't, I don't know, whatever. But I will say though, he is right about some of these things, right? Uh, uh, a good woman does know when to shut up, just like a good man knows when to shut up, right? Those are good, right things. But if cooking is the final like decider of like what makes a good woman, was Rachel Ray the greatest woman of all time? Like you know what I mean? Like you're gonna
Well,
tell.
Martha,
I mean, but they do say a stomach is the quickest way to a man's heart. So I'm just saying, like,
Right. So if he's saying like this is what I'm
it's
looking
a
for in a
plus.
wife,
It's a plus.
if he's
it's a
saying
big plus.
if
Yeah.
he's saying this is what I'm looking for in a wife, then then I think a lot of these comments would be more understandable and in a sense, but at same but he didn't, right? He said the perfect woman, this is what it is, and cooking was the deciding factor. And I'm like, listen, there's some women out there that are really good cooks and probably, terrible wives, terrible mothers, terrible employees, terrible whatever they do. So I don't know how cooking is whatever. So if he would have, like I said, yeah, if he would have said, this is what I'm looking for in a woman for me personally.
Yeah.
I'm tired of maybe he's sick of dating girls off Instagram or something like that. Who knows? But he
Well, a
didn't
lot of
say,
industry chicks. He's
yeah. But if he had the perfect example for a dad, then where did he, how come he didn't live up to like his dad's standard? Like what, like where? So that's the thing, man. Is yeah, and the comments he said years ago too about like women running routes and stuff. Like the whole thing was just like he's not. I don't know. It's just the way he says it, I guess, that makes it cringy. You know what I mean? Because he's just like starts like smirking and like it's almost condescending the way he's saying it, and it's just like it's not like he's actually. He said it was oh, it's funny to hear women talk about routes and stuff and physicality and whatever, blah blah. But it wasn't like he was actually laughing. Like if he would have busted up laughing or something, it would have been like, all right, what's happening? But he's condescending in the way he says it, and so it's just yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I mean, listen, do I think Oprah cooks 7 days a week? No, but I'm not gonna go tell her she's not a real woman either. Like you know what I mean? Like Oprah's gonna crush me in everything you could imagine. Like so. How is cooking like? And again, a lot of great women know how to cook, but so do a lot of bad women. So
And that's another thing. I'm about to say his definition of a perfect woman can be completely different between, what I'm saying, my definition of a perfect woman or your definition of a perfect woman or Nico's definition of a perfect woman, you know what I'm saying? So it's like if that's the deciding factor, I don't know. Is he even dating anyone right now? Like
I think that
Who knows?
so that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm just
his comment about a good woman knows when to shut up isn't wrong. Like a good man knows when to shut up. You know what I mean? Like if your coach is talking,
I
you
think
shut
a
up.
good person in general, you just know when. Hey,
Right. So I actually have no
sometimes-
problem. Like that's the one that people were mad about, and I was like, "That's the one you're mad about." Like that's actually very true. Like a good employee knows when to shut up. A good quarterback knows when to shut up. Like
that's right.
yeah. So I didn't have a problem with that comment at all. I was like, I don't know what's wrong with that. Maybe they're mad that he didn't also say a good man or something. Maybe because he only said women, but that was the topic they were talking about. So like, what do you expect him to say? But I didn't have a problem with that one actually.